What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, Joker back again, once again. So, with the Curse of Osiris, Destiny 2 received two updates. The December 5th update and the December 12th update. I wish I could say that either of these updates did anything at all to change the state of the game for the better, but I'm not a fucking liar. And it didn't. And in fact, it seems like it might have been a little half-baked, because it looks like, I don't know, a good quarter to half of the features don't even work. Xur's Faded Engram is supposed to give you something you don't have, which is kind of hard to do when he thinks you have things that you don't actually have. I would imagine that this will also affect exotic engrams as well with their new duplication protection system, because if the game already thinks you have something, then it's probably going to be less likely to, I don't know, cough up the goods. And the funny part is, this glitch just makes it to where it's harder to get things that you want because the game already thinks you have things that you don't have, so it doesn't prioritize giving those things to you, and you can't go to your kiosk and get them because the game only thinks you have it when it doesn't benefit you. Oh, this is so bad. Why aren't these two systems interlinked? Why isn't it like, if it's in the kiosk, it says already owned. If it says already owned, it's in the kiosk. On top of all of that, it seems 3 of Coins is broken, according to a post on Bungie.net which reads, "Hi all, throughout the weekend we've been monitoring feedback concerning the recently added 3 of Coins consumable offered by Xur. We'd like to give clarification on the functionality of this item. When players use a 3 of Coins consumable, this provides a 50% increase to the base chance of being rewarded an exotic engram upon activity completion. Using this consumable does not guarantee an exotic reward upon completing a set number of activities, but rather increased chances upon each activity completion. Note, we have found that heroic strikes do not currently grant higher chances for exotics when using 3 of Coins consumables, compared to Vanguard strikes. We're looking to address this with a future hotfix expected early 2018. We will continue to monitor and forward feedback concerning this feature throughout the holiday season. Keep it coming." Later this week, we'll have notes from the development team on additional feedback items that we're looking to address in the future. Stay tuned. I have a couple suggestions, Bungie. How about, I don't know, for the sake of argument, when you implement a system into the game, you, I don't know, tell the player how it works? I know, novel concept, right? But I'm getting really sick and tired of tooltips that don't tell the player anything. 3 of Coins increases your chance of getting exotics? Well, that's cool. By how much? Oh, well, now we know that it's 50%, but even then, 50% of what? If it's, I don't know, 50% of 1.0000000 fuck you percent, well, then that's only 1.50000 fuck you percent. I'm just throwing that out there, you know. Maybe, just maybe, we may try this thing where we, I don't know, implement features that don't hide mechanics of the game from the player. Like exotics. What the fuck is up with exotics having hidden perks? I should know exactly what my weapons do when I use them. And how about the bars on weapons? What the fuck is that about? How about a number? You know, I go to Destiny Item Manager, I can see a number there, so the number obviously fucking exists. How about we put a number out there instead of a fucking bar? And the hidden stats? Why the fuck are they hidden stats? The fuck? Just put them on the fucking gun. Jesus Christ. Is this fucking hard? I mean, obviously it's not. If a couple of douchebags designing a website can do it, I'm sure, I'm absolutely, positively sure, Bungie, you can manage it. I believe in you. Actually, no, I don't. But, point being, you can do it. You can show players how their things work. You can tell players how the game is actually played. You wanna make the game easy? You wanna make the game more understandable, more readable? You wanna get that audience in that may have a hard time playing the game because they don't quite get everything that's going on? You don't have to dumb the fucking game down. You don't have to streamline all the features because, well, I don't know. You think the player base is stupid? Even though time after time after time, the player base has not only outstripped and spanked you, but they've figured it out every time you've implemented something that, well, is in the game purely to fuck the player. Because that's what Destiny 2 has become. Destiny 2 has become Bungie trying their dearest, their damnedest, their damn diddly-odest to fuck its player base right in the ass. No lube, no dinner, just wham bam, thank you ma'am, right in the ass. And here's the thing, the player base always figures it out. So while many people may think that Destiny fans are stupid because they continue to play the game, they aren't as stupid as you think they are, Bungie, because they do see all of your shit. I mean, we figured out your EXP bullshit. We figured out your microtransaction bullshit. I mean, like, come on. And then anytime, any fucking time, like clockwork, you don't go, you know what? Yeah, you caught us. We had our hand in the cookie jar. We fucked up. We were trying to fuck the player base. Good on you. You know what? That's on us. No. Anytime you are caught with your pants down trying to ram us in the ass, you go, oh, well, well, I didn't know. Because, we didn't know. We didn't know any better. We're incompetent. I mean, like, we have like almost 1,000 developers here, and I mean they're all good at the math stuffs and the designing of the 3D graphics and but we're just stupid. We're just fucking stupid. No. Nobody believes that. Nobody thinks Bungie is incompetent. They think they're lazy. They think they don't give a shit. They think that they're trying to do the bare minimum work required to make maximum profit. They definitely think they're trying to do everything within their power to fuck their player base right in the ass. But they don't think Bungie's incompetent. Nobody's buying that. Maybe the people in charge are incompetent, but there's got to be somebody along the line at Bungie. One of the employees has had to have said, you know what? Let's not implement features half-assed and poorly, or let's tell players what things actually do. Because here's the thing. Nobody gives a shit about your mystique and your mysterious bullshit when it comes to how things work in Destiny. We're gonna figure it out eventually. Save us the time, save yourself the time, and just tell players how things work. Okay? Because if you don't, we're gonna look into how it works. And then we're gonna start noticing other things. And then we're not really gonna care about how that other shit worked. We're gonna notice the thing where Bungie tried to fuck us. Which, I mean, thank you. Because in your arrogance, you've created a system where your players do not trust you whatsoever. So, good on you for that. But I don't know what it is. I honestly could not fucking tell you what it is, other than the fact that Bungie thinks that its player base is fucking retarded. Here's the thing, you know what? The internet remembers. Don't take it from me. Don't listen to me. I'm just some dude on the internet. Here's Gabe Newell to tell you how fucking stupid you are.
So how do you continue, how do you continue to stay ahead of people particularly when some people have all the time in the world to invest in stuff and their time in to try to crack that shit?
I think you have to stop thinking that you're in charge and start thinking that you're having a dance, right? It's we used to think we're smart. Robin is almost, but nobody is smarter than the internet. Like a lot of people will point to some individual thing at the internet and say, "Oh, that's really stupid," but in aggregate, it's like one of the things we learned pretty early on is don't ever try to lie to the internet, because they will catch you, they will deconstruct your spin, they will remember everything you ever say, for eternity. So, and you can see sort of like old school companies really struggle with that. They still think that they can be in control of the message because they go to press people, and then the press people repeat what they're told, and then 5 seconds later, somebody's posting, goats having sex with a PR person, on 4chan, and completely calling bullshit on whatever it was. So, the internet in aggregate is scary smart, and the sooner people accept that and start to trust that that's the case, I think the better they're going to be at interacting with it.
Well, it's kind of worked to your advantage because your fans are so loyal now, and you have such a huge following.
Yeah, but we tend to think of it as like every time we do something, we're putting a little bit in the bank. Mm-hmm. At some point we'll do something stupid, like there'll be a security problem or a source code, and we'll have to do a withdrawal. But it's really easy to burn people's trust really fast. We're really cognizant of everything we do having the potential of alienating people. The nice thing is that, we're in it because we like being part of the community, right? That we're building stuff and we have a role, and it's a really fun role, and we don't want to use that power for evil.
Now, to get back to something that isn't a tangent but is still a tangent, I'm not a fan of 3 of coins. However, if you're going to introduce something into the game, perhaps, maybe, on some level, it should actually work. And given what we've seen reported from people doing things like, I don't know, public events and PvP, you're more likely to get an exotic with a full team running fireteam medallions than by using a 3 of coins. I wonder why that is. I guess the world will never know. Moving right along, most of the other fixes seem to be to things like emblems not displaying properly in kiosks, or tuning the rate at which exotics drop from public events or strikes, and buffing one underwhelming exotic so that it's still one underwhelming exotic. On top of all of that, Bungie pulled a breakneck 180 in regards to the endgame content purchased with Destiny 1 that was locked behind a paywall after the Curse of Osiris was released. Bungie's response was essentially to feign ignorance. To which I say, fuck that and fuck you. You knew exactly what you were doing because you've been doing it since Destiny 1. However, with Destiny 2, you had the arrogance to ship something like Trials with the vanilla game and just hope and pray that nobody would notice when you locked it behind a paywall. You didn't get stupider, you got ballsier. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you got caught, once again, with your hand in the cookie jar. And instead of owning it, you pretend to be fucking stupid. Well, I guess stupidity is at least a believable defense given the state of Destiny 2. Normally, however, this type of gross incompetence would end in the resignation of somebody in charge. No, it's quite clear you planned this. The biggest, air quote, feature implemented with these updates was the Masterwork weapons. Like with most things Destiny 2, it's a great idea with piss poor execution. I'm starting to think that they have somebody locked in a basement somewhere at Bungie, and this person comes up with all the ideas, and then they take those really good ideas and they hand them to fucking monkeys. And they want to see, it's like this social experiment, to see how far they can get with throwing shit against a wall and seeing what sticks, to see if maybe, eventually, hopefully, they can get Shakespeare. And then once they have Shakespeare, they crumble it up, throw it in the trash, burn the trash, and then, I don't know, fucking throw the ashes in the fucking ocean. I mean, that's what happened with Destiny 1. Piss poor analogies aside, this feature just screams rush to market. It's like most of this update, safe, to the point of being underwhelming. I can't, for example, increase the impact on a hand cannon. Perhaps not to something insane like making the Midnight Coup a 2-shot hand cannon, but, maybe placing it more definitively in its 3 to 4 shot roll? No, the only thing that gets impact is things that already one-shot people, like snipers, fusion rifles, swords. Really? Swords? Because, when I hit somebody with a sword, it just wasn't doing enough damage. Fucking A. If you thought impact was underwhelming, well, there's a stat that increases the magazine size of weapons. But you want to know how much it increases the magazine size of most weapons? 1 to 2 bullets, depending on the archetype. Yeah, 1 to 2 bullets. That's it. God, I don't know how many times I've been in a situation where I'm like, man, my auto rifle just had 2 more bullets. Gah, that scout rifle, just 1 more bullet, man. Just 1 more. I would have made it. I would have fucking made it. Psh, come on. There's also mods that increase the handling and reload speed of weapons, but then you realize that there's armor mods that do the exact same thing. And maybe this is just me, but I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I'm like, if I would have finished the reload animation 0.0000002 seconds faster, man, you know what? I would have won that gunfight. If I'm caught with my pants down reloading, it's likely because I just got out of a firefight and I'm already 1 shot. I mean, maybe that's just my own personal experience, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess that, well, actually that's probably everybody's personal experience. Now, don't get me wrong. Reload speed, great perk. Something like Ophidian Aspects where it's like double your reload speed across the board, amazing. But on a weapon, I get to boost 1 stat, 5 or 10 points, and I'm picking reload speed. Yeah, but no. If I cared that much, I already have a mod. The only gold star perk that seems to be here by process of elimination is range, and let's be honest, more range is always great. But even then, given how severe damage fall-off is for weapons like hand cannons, or how minimal it is for something like Uriel's Gift, is a 5 to 10 point boost in range really gonna be noticeable? I mean, really? Maybe something like the Antiope D or the Last Hope, where they already edge out their range at ridiculous ranges for what they are. So this might solidify them in that range, but for everything else, I don't see it. I don't see it really being that useful. Maybe I will be proven wrong for once, but I think all of these changes are really, really, really safe and do nothing more than solidify stats instead of actually boosting them. I can't say that I necessarily blame Bungie for wanting to play it safe when introducing something they likely cooked up only a few weeks ago. That said, Masterwork weapons, like Destiny 2, should have stayed in the oven much, much longer. Masterwork weapons should have been introduced with a full suite of perks and additive abilities that not only have been play-tested, but have a significant effect on the weapons they're on, and player builds. We should also have Masterwork armor, which is something to their credit that they are working on. This is really one of those features where it would have been better to have not gotten Masterwork weapons right now, in a very much alpha state. Currently, Masterwork weapons do very little to add to the quality of this update. What should have happened is this feature should have cooked way longer and then been presented in a significant and beneficial way, not the first thing that they came up with that wouldn't have ruined the game. I'll be the first to tell you that I want new features, but when I get those features, I want them to be in a state where it doesn't feel like they were cobbled together a week ago and thrown out the door last minute. I want them to actually fucking work. I mean, it's not like we spent the better part of 3 years beta testing Destiny as a franchise. Recently, Games like The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, and Warframe have all received large, free updates that, in the case of Rainbow Six Siege and The Division, have brought new life to the game. For comparison, Destiny 1 didn't get its life-saving update till The Taken King, which was a $40 expansion. To quote Triple Rec, "It's quite amazing to see how The Division and Rainbow Six Siege, two games that appeared to be doomed after launch, have both had major resurgences after the developers listened to faithful players and rewarded their communities who value complex gameplay." The only problem here is, and the theme of this entire video, this entire rant, all the tirades, is that Bungie has burned rather quickly through every last ounce of goodwill this community has had. Changes like this only happen when the developer is able to take a good hard look at themselves and go, you know what? Yeah, our bad, we fucked up, and we're gonna make it right. Bungie cannot do that. Bungie is not in a place as a company that has the mental fortitude to admit that they fucked up. This would require them to admit that Destiny 1 was essentially a 3-year beta, and during that 3-year beta, they took any and all feedback and decided, you know what, fuck it, let's throw it out the window, let's make a game that appeals to the mass market casual audience, and screw over the core. There are some things that are way more valuable than money to a company. One of those things is the goodwill of the customer base. Loyalty, not money, is what allowed Bungie to have a new IP that succeeded in the way that it did. It's what kept Destiny 1 alive. It's what allowed people to make excuses for the lackluster state of Destiny 1, knowing full well that Bungie as a development studio was better than this. On the Legend of Acreus Exotic Shotgun, the lore tab reads, "In the Cabal legend, a hero seeks to possess the sun. He succeeds. Then, he becomes the Emperor. The Cabal are not a subtle people." That's really the entire myth. A Cabal named Acreus desires the sun, and he takes it. And he becomes the first Emperor of the Cabal. Other scholars have already noted the parallels and differences between our own ancient Earth myth of Icarus, which famously has a far more humbling ending. I am more interested in how Cabal leaders throughout history have deployed this legend as a rhetorical and political justification for conquest. Among the most relevant such figures is Dominus Gull himself, who appears to have a personal affinity for the Acreus myth. I must also note here, while linguistic analysis of the Cabal language and its many dialects is incomplete, they do not appear to have a word for the concept of hubris. There is something almost ironic about the parallels between this lore tab and the fall of Bungie. Like Icarus, or like Gaul, one's reach shouldn't exceed their grasp. Bungie's has. They created Halo, and in their hubris, they believed they could do no wrong. And yet, here we are. Like Icarus, or like Gaul, one's reach should not exceed their grasp. Bungie's has. They created Halo, and in their hubris, they believed they could do no wrong. And yet, here we are. The road to the Curse of Osiris DLC was plagued with controversy after controversy after controversy, and it seemed not a day could go by without Bungie shooting themselves in the foot. With the Curse of Osiris, they have stopped shooting the mangled stain of an ankle, they've taken aim at their only remaining foot, and they've started shooting at that. But, boys, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, and like always, stay frosty. Well, I guess it looks like I'm going back to normal. There was, no temporal events this episode. What do you think, Ghost? Ghost? Ghost! God damn it!